Hello. Sorry I'm a minute late. I had to get all my coughs out. I'm still sick. 2 weeks now. I've been sick. I'm done. Who's watching? Who's with me? I was going to bring. I had Lily up here with me so she could say hi too, but she boogied. I'm just going to give a minute so everybody can get on. Hello, hello. Have a sip of my tea. You know I always have my tea with me. Fix my microphone here. Today's tea is cacao nibs and lavender. It's very good. So let me change the camera view here and show you a little bit about what I've been working on before we get started. So this is for today's class. We're going to work on the canvas flower in your kits. Let me set that aside, but here's a couple things I've been just doodling with this week. I'm sort of new to sewing, and I bought a new sewing machine. I bought one of those brothers that you can get at Walmart that has 100 different stitches, and I found that the card on the side of the sewing machine that shows you the stitches, this doesn't look anything like what the stitch actually looks like. So I decided to do a little sampler of, this is the J foot. Every stitch you have to use a certain foot. And then I did a sample stitch. You can see how terrible I am. Look at this one. I'm learning. I'm getting better. But and then I just took my little Sharpie and put a number over each one. And I plan on doing that with each of the feet. I just took a piece of muslin that I had in my craft room. I need to do some trimming there. And because I use this for covers a lot, and I just did that. It really helped me. For example, this one, where is it? Number 15. The picture on the front of the sewing machine looks nothing like that. I guess people who sew a lot understand that if there's a dotted line, it's like a circle or something. I don't know, but it doesn't look like this. So this is really helping me out a lot. Hello, hello, whoever just joined. Say hi so I know who's here. So this is what I was working on a little bit this week. Just little things because, like I said, I've had this bronchitis excuse me, for a couple of weeks, and I haven't been able to do any major projects, so I've been getting done some little things that have been on my to-do list, which is kind of cool. I still got a lot done. I'm very happy. Then I started to deconstruct some of excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot. I started to deconstruct a lot of the books that I had purchased, and I showed them to you guys in another video. I I just found some beautiful, beautiful book covers, and so I started to take them apart. This one is a little pocket thesaurus, thesaurus, and I loved the flowers, the vintage-looking flowers, and this gold trim here. So I cut it apart, and I managed somehow to keep the end papers in. Isn't that so pretty? So, and then I put in Craftex, brown Craftex, to secure the spine and to help secure these end papers on here. And so this is all ready for me to make into a junk journal. It has the nice ribs here too. And this was from about the 1920s, this book. And this one, which I was so excited to get because look at the title, The Gift of Friendship. It's on the front and the back. So beautiful. And it also says The Gift of Friendship on the spine. But look what happened when I went to take it off. It just is so old. And this is leather. It's leather here and leather on the spine. And it just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get the cover off and preserve this at the same time. And I was really disappointed. So, excuse me, but here's a little tip. Now I can make 2 junk journals that say The Gift of Friendship on the cover because I can make a back cover. And these are going to be 2 front covers for friendship journals. So 2 lucky people will get to purchase this one. And this book was from 1854. And the nice thing is, too, the other thing I'll be doing today is I, of course, saved the pages. And so I'm going to be making something nice out of these pages. And the pages are cool because every page has a pretty border around it. So there we go. So I'll figure out something to do with these pages. I definitely will use them. Just different stories about friendship, so some poetry. So everything in here is nice and positive, and I won't have to worry about making something out of this and having something really weird be on it. So, so I did that, and then I cut apart this one. And what inspired me to buy this, first of all, the cover is really cool, and it's all debossed and embossed on here. You can't feel it, but it's really, you can kind of see it there. It's Rudyard Kipling, but on the side it says sketchbook. So I'm thinking with this one, so I took the guts out and I put a piece of tie back in the center to support the spine. And I'm thinking with this one might just be a naked album on the inside, and I might put some watercolor paper in here and make it a true sketchbook. But I would have to, that requires a little bit of a different stitch if you want your pages to lay flat. If it's a sketchbook, you do want your pages to lay flat. You don't want to use the pamphlet stitch like in this journal because things don't totally, I mean, they kind of lay flat, but I think that this would be a little more awkward if you're actually trying to sketch. So I'm going to do a kettle stitch, what's called a kettle stitch in this one, and the pages will lay flat. So that's all I've kind of been up to. I'm preparing a video in my Use Your Scrap series for some iris folding. So I did this card, and so if you're not familiar with iris folding, it's really fun using strips of paper and a template. And so I'm going to be doing a video soon on that. So that's what I've been up to, but I really needed to get this junk journal series done because I only have one more kit left, and anybody who's following along, I just want you to have your journal be complete. I think I have a whole bunch of paper left over from the kit, and you will too if you've been making it kind of like I have, but I wanted to stop because I think we've done quite enough decorating in here. It's just chock full of goodies, but we don't want to do too much because, or at least I don't, because I want people to be able to, I want there to be plenty of blank space for whoever ends up purchasing this. So after today we're done. I only have one more kit left, and And I have 5 more of these. These were the bonus um, packs in the kit, and the bonus packs have the burlap flower inside. That's what we're going to work on today is the burlap flower, as well as glimmer mist, some canvas, the fantastic rub-ons that I've shown you, and file folders and little bags. So I'm in the process of making another, what I call a deluxe junk journal kit, because they have items like this in them that other people don't necessarily put in their kits. And it's a, yeah, so I'm probably going to I have 5 more of these left, and I'll probably put those in the next kit that's going to come out soon. So anyway, that's where everybody got the flower, this burlap flower. And that's what we're going to decorate today, and then it's going to go on the front of the album. So, um, I experimented with some glimmer mist. I have some pinkish glimmer mist, but didn't really like the way it came out, at least with the pink. But if you don't want it to be so monochromatic like this, you can stain this, you can glimmer mist it, and actually I think I'm going to use my Tim Holtz ink, and I'm just going to put a little bit of color around the edge of this. And you could use any color you wanted, but I'm going for more vintage colors. And that's just going to separate it a little more if you do end up putting it on this book. I tried tearing the edges a little bit, but to sort of grunge up the edges, but it's sewn together so nicely that I was just ending up with strings like this. So I gave up on that idea, and I thought, well, I'll grunge this up another way. Let me cut those off. So I grabbed some things from my stash. I have some vintage lace pieces. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys about this, but I went to an antique store that I'd never been to before, and I went upstairs, and it was one of those buildings that kind of winds around all over the place, and I walked into this huge room, and it was like an angel choir went off. La! Because the entire room, from floor to ceiling, was packed with vintage lace. Apparently, it was one of those consignment shops where a number of people have booths. Apparently, somebody had gone to a local, in my area. I live in Maine, and we used to have a lot of textile factories. And so a lace factory went out of business, and he purchased everything that they had left over. And it, like I said, floor to ceiling, and I was in my glory. So everything you could stuff into a little shopping bag, the ones you get at the grocery store with the handles, everything that you could shove in there for $5. So I bought 2 because I don't know when I'm going to get back to that area again. And there's so much of it, I don't feel guilty cutting it up. So yeah, I was very excited. And I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with that lace. Some of it was just beautiful, beautiful patterns. And so I cut a piece of the lace. I'm going to probably just do some layering on here to make this look a little more grungy. Here's another piece of lace. Actually, no, I didn't need to use that one. This one. I cut this from the bottom because I like the look of it. And I'll probably put that on here. And then I've got a little bit of cheesecloth. Actually, let's put that under. Put this one on top. And then I wanted to do a little pop of color. So I have some green silk trim here. and I'll probably put that in here. And then I went through my vintage button stash and I found this beautiful little button with a little fake diamond in the middle. And I'm going to sew that into the middle, and that will be our flower for the front of the journal. And that's not going to take very long at all. So I think for these two pieces, first of all, I think I want to ink up my cheesecloth first. Get out my little mat here that my mother sliced in half. I never stop teasing her about that. Just give it kind of a tea-stained look a little bit here. Okay. Oops, I keep picking this up. I'm bound and determined to use that. Maybe I should. And I probably should be using Fabri-Tac, but I'm going to use tacky glue because I'm going to sew the button on. So I think that this will work just fine. Put a big blob of it in the middle there. Put my cheesecloth down. Put this down. And I want some of it to be hanging off a little bit. And then take a piece of this silk trim and probably just going to kind of roll it loosely around my fingers and then put it down and push it so that that glue starts to come through. Okay. Now the hard part for me, threading my needle. I can't do little fine things anymore. My hands are just thrashed from all the years of piano playing. But I like to put my needles, just have a little cork from a bottle of red wine that I had one evening. Not the whole bottle, but you know what I mean. And I like to just stick my needles in here. I have the different sizes, the wide ones for when I'm sewing signatures, and then little ones and medium ones. And then by my desk, I just keep a whole bunch of these little travel size threads. Excuse me. This has been quite the cold. My husband has it now. Doesn't matter what color I use because it has this type of thingy dingy on it. What do you call this? Somebody told me one time what it's called and I already forgot. Do you guys know? Eyelet, maybe? Is it an eyelet? And every time I sew on camera too, I say, I'm going to get one of those threaders. Hey, it went through first time. Yay. And then tying the knot is also a problem with me and my fingers. You should see me trying to tie bows. It's just ridiculous. Okay. This flower is mounted on a piece of thicker canvas, the way they sewed it on. So it's not going to fall apart. Got this at Canvas Corp. I'm so sorry for sniffling. I gave my box of tissues to my hubby. I should have kept a few for myself. So, is anybody watching actually making a junk journal along with me, or did you buy the kit, or you're just on board to try to get some ideas? Sorry, I'm trying to do this on camera. It's not easy poking it through this material on the back. There we go. And done. So there's our little flower. You can put more layers on. Another thing you could do is you could put some beadwork in here. Instead of sewing on a button, you could sew some beads in. I have to be so careful with these needles and a little dog. She eats everything. I found a screw in her mouth the other day. I'm not used to little dogs. I had German Shepherds before, and so I'm not used to a little dog who will just, she's like a Hoover vacuum cleaner. She just eats everything, anything and everything off the floor. All right, let's glue this thing on. You know what? I wonder, do I want this? No, probably not. Yeah, I like it, but the flower's already a little large for the front of this cover. It's kind of the focal point, so I don't want to make it any bigger. This is just one of those little snack bags that you can get at the grocery store. Okay. I'm going to trim this a little bit. I'm really happy with that. These burlap flowers from Canvas Corp are just incredible. They're just awesome. I love all of their products. I've said it before. I don't get a kickback. I just think that they're good quality products. So here we go. Let's do a quick flip through of what we've done. So we made a double pocket. Excuse me. Oh, by the way, so I told you guys about these notes to self. I went to, I work in Boston quite a bit. I was down in Boston. Where'd they go? Let's see. Oh, right here. I used them for this. So, Candlewood Sweets, they have these paper pads, and I just like that it says notes to self. So, you know how they give these to you when you go to a hotel, there's a pad of paper and a pen over by the telephone. So I always take these with me when I leave, and I just cut off the top, and then I coffee stain them. And I think that they turn out really cool. Notes to self. So there you go. There's a plug for Candlewood Sweets. So some of these papers I added in from my digital kits or just things I had in my stash. I did a video on how I do this cool coffee stain technique. We started out whoopsie. We started out making the covers and using the rub-on transfers for the cover. And it's kind of a unique cover because it has this 3D look here. So there's a spine piece, and a spine piece. I don't want to, I have to hold on to my flower, I think. And we decorated this bag. In one of the classes. And here's another bag that we decorated. And I did a class on sewing in your junk journals, different ideas on how to sew. Here's another one of the bags. Oops, we got something. Oh, there we go. And I do have a class on how to make these little envelopes, how to fold them out of paper. And then we have a little dictionary page in here. Belly band with some things. We made some tags in one of the classes. And the link down below is for the first class, so that if you want to watch the whole thing in order, you can do that. How to make a junk journal from start to finish. And one of the classes was on I think it was in the sewing class, how to make these little pockets. These are more of those fantastic rub-ons that are in the deluxe junk journal kit. Glimmer mist. This is the I can't remember the name of it. The Tim Holtz I can't remember the name of it. The stuff that glassine paper. That's the name of it. That was one idea, what to do with the glassine paper that's in the kit. Some more sewing. I really liked this page. We just took some bits and pieces and sewed down the edge. I was happy with the way that turned out. Here's one of the file folders in the kit. And we made a pocket on the inside, and we put a little tag. More of the rub-ons. We did some stenciling. So we did quite a bit in this class, but like I said, I do have to stop because I have to move on to my next kit that I'm coming out with, and we don't want to have this just be too bulky and crammed full of stuff. I mean, you can if you want, but I wanted to just, at some point you have to, when you're being creative, you have to say, time to stop. I think this one's done. Because sometimes I can just keep decorating forever. Love this coffee stain paper. That page turned out beautiful. Love it. I just made a little tuck spot with the vintage playing card that is in the kit. And I did explain in one of the videos how important it is to protect your knots. I see most people doing junk journals and not doing this. And if you're just using regular photocopy paper, eventually this is all going to tear and your journal's going to fall apart. So you have to put something in to protect your knots. And I did do a video on that as well. Here's another file folder. There was just so many goodies in that kit. It definitely makes an entire junk journal and then some. And that's, oh, I didn't decorate the back. I need to do that. And still holding on to my flower. There we go. So there's our journal. And we put some cheesecloth on the top here too. And we did a tea-stained ribbon for the closure. And there you go. So I think that's it for me today. I feel like another coughing spell is coming on, so I better quit while I'm ahead. But I thank you so much for crafting with me today, just for even if it was just for a little bit. And there's one more deluxe kit left. That's it, and then there won't be any more of that particular kit. I'm going to be making another kit very soon here with lots of vintage goodies that I've been finding. So go run over and check that out if you do want to make this particular mini album, or you just like all the goodies that are in the kit. So goodbye for now, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.